Hello Kansas City, this is Ed Quackenbush at Olathe Dodge, your 2016 Kansas Dealer of the Year. Today I'm going to do a tutorial for you, show you how to hook up an Android or an iPhone to a 6.5 Uconnect radio system. This particular radio system is found in a Jeep Renegade. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is get my phone out. I've got an Android, and I'm going to go to my settings. And I'm going to find where it says Bluetooth. I'm going to tap it, and I'm going to make sure my Bluetooth is on, which it is. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the radio system itself. There's a phone button right there. I'm going to tap this phone button, and it's asking me would I like to pair a phone. I'm going to hit yes, and now it's going to start the procedure up. And this can take anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute or so. It takes just a little bit of time. Okay, now get my phone here, and I'm going to hit the scan or search button on your phone. And there we go. When Uconnect pops up on the bottom there for available devices, that's what you want to hit. So, oh come on, it keeps powering down on me. There we go. So we hit Uconnect. Now it's going to start pairing the phone up. Now my phone is giving me an alert, giving me a pass key code, 146286. I'm going to look at my screen on the radio, make sure I got the same PIN number, 146286. If I do, which I do, I'm going to hit accept on my radio screen, and I'm going to hit OK on my phone. And this will start the pairing process. Now my phone has just alerted me, it wants permission to allow text messages. I'm going to hit allow. And then I'm going to hit OK on my radio screen. Now my phone is asking permission to download my contacts and phone log history. I'm going to say allow. And then on the screen is now downloading my phone book. So all your contacts are now being downloaded to the actual computer. And then when it says phone ready, we're ready to rock and roll. Phone ready. Okay. First thing I want you to notice is on this screen here on the radio, up here on the upper right hand cornerish part of the area, you have a Bluetooth symbol, which means my Bluetooth is paired, and you also have your signal strength of your signal, and then your battery meter. That's the battery life of the phone you've got, and your signal strength. Okay, so I'm now going to go through everything on here. I'll do a text message here in a little bit and a call as well. First thing I want to show you is the phone book. I'm going to open up the phone book, and I'm going to check to make sure I know these people, which I do. So I know we have downloaded completely and everything's fine. You can search for people by hitting the search button here, and then you can dial in their first name, they'll pop them up. So I'm just going to punch in the word Bobby, B-O-B-B-Y, hit OK, and then Bobby Walter, contact of mine, pops up. Okay, go back to the phone book again, ABC button. If you hit the ABC button, you can hit the first letter of the first name of the person you want to find. So I'll hit C, and it brings up all my C's. Cameron, Carey. Okay. Now, there's a favorite button right there. We can make any contact you have as a favorite, and it will pop up right here where it says empty. These little tabs up here at the top that say empty. So we're going to do that next. Go back to phone book, hit favorite. Hit the little cogwheel, find an empty line, hit cogwheel. Little tab pops up, add for mobile. Going to tap that. Then I'm going to scroll down and find somebody I want to add to as a favorite. I'll just do Bobby. When I tap it, his name comes up, number comes up, and hit select. So what you want to do is just tap the phone number itself. That saves him as a favorite. Now if you go back, you see Bobby Walter is now up here at the top, left-hand corner as a favorite. So if I ever want to call him direct, without scrolling through the phone book, without using my VR button, all I gotta do is just touch that little name and it will call him. Next thing I'm going to do is go through recent calls. So next to the phone book tab below, there's recent calls. You tap that, it'll bring up all the calls coming in, out, everything. And then you have a list for incoming calls, a list for outgoing calls, and a list of your missed calls. Next up is the dial button. It's a little grid with the word dial. If you touch that, that brings up a keypad, and then all you got to do is just dial in a number, hit the call button in the lower right hand corner. That will call that number you just put in direct. Okay, now I'm going to skip the messaging. I'll get to that in a little bit. Settings is next. I'm going to hit the settings. This is where you're going to add another device. As you can see, number 1 is Galaxy Note 5. I'm connected. That's the phone I just paired. Alright, you can touch add device to add another phone. You can add up to 7 phones on this system. You can also change pins if you wish to, so you got a pin you can remember better. Okay. First thing I'm going to do a call first. When I do a call, the join calls, the transfer button, the mute button will all light up right there. And I'll go through how to make a call coming in and going out as well. So my camera person's going to go ahead and make a phone call to me here. And you can see what this all sounds like. There it goes. As you can see, it's ringing on my phone and is also ringing through my speakers as well. Okay, so all you got to do is just hit the answer, and it'll answer the phone. Just like so. Now that I got a live call going on, you have a hold button, an end button, transfer button, mute button. Mute button will just mute the call. That way the person on the other line cannot hear the conversation going on inside the vehicle. Transfer button, all that does is transfer the phone call from the Bluetooth back to your phone, so you can just talk on the phone like you normally would, you know, with it pressed against your ear. And then you got a hold button to put the person on hold, and an end button as well. Join calls, that's for or actually if you had another call coming in at the same time, now that I have a conversation going on live, if somebody else called me, I could hit join calls and do a transfer, or not a transfer, a conference, and conference all the calls together by the join calls. So now I'm going to end this call. Now to dial out, or actually to make a call, there's a little phone button, a green phone receiver button that sits on your steering wheel. If you hit that little phone button and you say the word call, it will call the contact that you want. So let's say that I have Bobby Walter, but let's pretend I also have another person by the name of Bobby White. I've got to be specific on which Bobby I want to call when I hit that phone button. So I'd hit the little green phone button on my steering wheel and I would say call Bobby White. And then if he has a home number, a mobile number, a work number, the more precise I am, the more accurate the system will work. So for example, I would hit the phone button, I would say call Bobby White mobile, call Bobby White home, and so on and so on. Again, the more precise you are, the more accurate it will work. And that's how you just make a call out. You had a call coming in, so that explains the call portions. Now I'm going to have my camera person real quick go ahead and send me a text message so you can see how this works. Now I do want to make a note, the text messaging only works on Android phones. They do not work with our system on the iPhones yet. For what I understand, in 2017 we're going to be getting new software. One of them will be called
from Dodge. Jasmine.
It will be called I believe they're going to call it iPhone CarPlay, and that will allow text messaging to be done. Now if I did hook up an iPhone to this, which I can do, it will work exactly the same, except you can't text with that little messaging button. There is no messaging button with the iPhones. Instead what you have is what they call Series I Free. That allows you to use the VR or the voice recognition button that sits on your steering wheel. So you would use it, you can hit it one time to do functions of the car, and if you want to make an actual text with your iPhone, you would hit the VR button twice, and that would activate your Series I Free, and then you can tell Siri to text somebody. So that's like a little workaround of how to use the iPhone with the text messaging system until the actual button starts working with the iPhones. Okay, so now I got a text coming in. I am in park right now. I can view it. If I'm in park, if I'm driving, I can hit listen or I can hit ignore. So let's just pretend that I'm driving down the street right now, and I'm going to hit the listen button because it will not allow you to view it if you are actually in motion. So I'm going to hit listen.
Hello.
And it was just a simple text saying hello. Now I can hit the reply button, Up here it says create new message with VR. The first tab, I'm going to tap that, and I'm going to see my message back.
Please say the message you would like to send.
Hello, how are you today?
Hello, how are you today? To add to your message, say continue. To delete the current message and start over, say start over. To send the current message, say send. To hear the message again, say repeat.
Send.
Sending your message.
And I have just sent a text message back. Now I do want you to realize that when the computer is talking like she just did, you cannot interrupt her. You've got to wait for a beep before you speak, and then you wait for her to stop talking before you can talk. You cannot interrupt her. It doesn't work that way. Alright, that concludes my tutorial on a 6.5 Uconnect radio system found inside of the Jeep Renegades. Come see us at Olathe Dodge, your 2016 Kansas Dealer of the Year.